Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the We Know Nothing podcast. I'm your host, Nathan Talan, and with me today are...
My name is Nicholas Talan.
My name is Michael Lehman.
And today we're going to talk about the finale of Game of Thrones Season 7. It was a jam-packed episode, so we have a lot of stuff to talk about.
Jam-packed.
Like, I'm talking major events, every scene.
Season 6 finale, still better.
Yeah. Okay, well...
Right off the bat, we're going to steer some people away.
We start off with basically every character in Game of Thrones that means anything in the same place in the Dragon Pit.
Yeah.
And we had lots of different exchanges throughout it. What were some of your guys' highlights of that whole scene?
The Hound and Brienne being proud parents of Arya. That was pretty cool. And pretty much all, just seeing them all together is really weird because we've literally never seen that before. And I have to give a lot of credit to the writers of the show, David and Dan, because I feel like that would be one of the hardest things to do, especially since it was only like a 30-minute clip where literally all the main characters in the show are in one area.
I like how the Hound is fed up with his brother's story arc as the rest of us are. And he's just like, I can't wait to kill you.
Yeah.
I can't wait to
Well,
kill
and
you.
the thing is, I had trouble because of the delivery in it, which I guess is just my fault for interpreting it wrong. I thought that he was referencing either the Night King or something else.
Yeah, I did at first.
How they maybe they talked about something as kids, maybe like White Walkers or something, and maybe because he was already dead. But then I watched the behind the scenes, which is incredible. Check it out if you haven't seen it. I checked out the behind the scenes, and the actor, I forget his name.
Rory McCain or something like that.
He literally straight up says in the behind the scenes, and I told him that, and I basically meant I'm going to kill his ass, essentially. That's what he said in the behind the scenes. So I was like, oh, so he just confirmed that. I thought it was going to be one of those things where we find out that maybe as kids, maybe get a flashback with Bran.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't feel like they're that important to deserve a flashback from Bran. But I feel like they're just going to end up killing each other with fire or something, and that's how it will end for him.
Yeah.
Because, the Hound really doesn't need to live past the show, I feel. He has, once he kills them out, his arc is complete, 100% complete from going to,
he's got a little bit tied in with Arya. I mean...
Yeah, he needs to meet up with Arya again.
Yeah, and he was a great character, 100%. One of my favorites in the whole show. He's lasted pretty much the whole show.
Season 1, episode 1, all the way.
He just had that little hiatus for a couple episodes, but one of my favorite characters. But honestly, it wouldn't make sense for him to keep living. Well, what Game of Thrones has given us in the past seasons, you'd think that some of these characters would be dying, but at this point, we honestly don't know because they're off the books now.
Kit Harington said in an interview that season 8 is going to be a bloodbath. So
Kit Harington has lied to us twice.
Yeah, but
the past two seasons.
Not. I feel like season 8,
which I like.
75% of the characters we know are dying.
What if they completely jump the shark in the other direction? So Game of Thrones was known as killing off characters that people really wanted to see stick around. So what if they just say, okay, listen, we've been kind of precious for a while. Why don't we take that? Why don't we flip the script on that and say some of the characters that we really want to see die just live, and just Game of Thrones it that way. Just go to the other side of the pendulum.
But I just don't think they'd even go there. I don't think they'd go in that territory since it's the end of the show and they're off the books. I don't think the creators would want to leave that sour taste in the fans' mouth.
Well, also the only character that I want to see die really is Cersei and the Night King. So maybe but Cersei is already prophesized to die. The Night King, if he wins, then everyone else dies.
Do we care about Euron?
Euron's, in my books, he's a dumb character.
I don't know. I don't care. He's just basically a henchman to Cersei at this point, and it's just kind of whatever. Yeah. In the books, I guess he's insane and he's a super great character, but
just got introduced too late.
I mean,
it's just too late in the game.
Good actor, but introduced way too late for me to even care a sliver about him. The only thing that I can see happening now, obviously, is since Jaime left, Cersei and him will probably either connect or Cersei will just explode because Jaime left her and she won't take anyone anymore. She won't accept anyone.
Yeah, I feel like
for anything.
I feel like that was the final straw for Cersei, where she just doesn't care anymore. Jaime
she's
left.
The Mad Queen now.
Yeah, she's.
People think Daenerys will be the Mad Queen.
She made that switch before he left. She drove him away with that switch.
Yeah. But I mean, now it's she has nothing tying her down besides her kid.
Yeah, besides her kid.
If something goes wrong where in the pregnancy or she's lying about the pregnancy, then she has nothing. So that's why maybe she might.
So what's the prophecy though? How will she die?
By the Valancourt, which is little sibling, but that could mean Tyrion, it could mean Jaime, it could mean Arya.
Hear me out. Hear me out.
She's the little sibling of the Stark family.
Tyrion dies. Tyrion dies and the Lord of Light brings back Tyrion as a baby and kills 100%
Bran's the
Tyrion.
Night King.
Bran's the Night
I'm,
King.
I'm still on board with she has a dwarf son that just murders her on the way out.
That'd be crazy.
But then
Or a daughter, dwarf daughter. Let's
a
split
little,
it up.
it wouldn't be a sibling then,
It would to her children.
but her children are dead.
Does not change anything at all.
I mean,
Okay, but what I'm saying is like
do you understand life? Her children are dead.
John was saying like this is
Our legs are all.
this is a like a general that you can't bargain with. So do we think Cersei's going to try to bargain with the Night King? Because how do we think season 8's going down?
How do you bargain with the Night King?
I don't get that.
Marry
like,
him?
No. If that were to happen, they'd have to do it like flawlessly. If there was even just a little hiccup in that whole thing, I would hate Game of Thrones.
Really?
Yes, I think that from all the information that they've given us about the Night King, if they randomly just
Which is
have the Night
nothing.
King talk to Cersei and they're like, let's marry, I
well,
would jump off a
they
building.
don't. The White Walkers don't speak English.
Do they not?
You hear a little bit of their language in the very first episode of the show, and all it sounds like is ice cracking. It's kind of creepy, but it's cool, though at the same time.
That's
but
cool as hell.
That's cool.
because how do we think season
don't
8's going to
even
go? Because
I don't even remember
The
the
on-
first episode really. Like I remember just like I can envision it, but like I don't even remember.
with the whole
Besides
Night's
the main,
Watch beef
I know
of
that.
people
I know
dying.
like I remember that part. I remember Robert coming to King's Landing. I remember Bran getting pushed out. That's the only 3 events I remember.
You see
from-
John Aaron's like funeral, and Jamie and Cersei are like talking like.
I don't remember that part.
Did you know they had to reshoot the pilot entirely because it was so bad the first time?
Could you imagine if it got off on the wrong foot
Mm-hmm.
and the show didn't make it? Okay, anyway.
Oh, and they also like changed Tyrion's hair because in like the first season he's like
Yeah.
super blonde, and then they just said no.
Yeah. It was all straightened out, too.
I didn't
Super
like his hair
weird.
in the first
Yeah, he
couple
looks
seasons.
weird.
He looks really weird. Okay, go ahead.
What was I gonna say? Oh, but like, how do we think season 8's gonna go? Because we have the
Pick
Night
a
King.
storyline. Pick a storyline.
Well, we have the Night King, and then we have Cersei to deal with.
Let's worry about that till last. Hit us with some other storylines.
Okay, well,
We're
I'm just-
running, even though we're running out of storylines.
well, the Dragon Pit still. I mean, did you guys believe at first that Cersei was gonna join them when she first said it?
When she came back with Tyrion, I don't know if I'm stupid, but I did. I didn't believe her the first time she
Well-
said it with the Jon Snow thing. I was like, she's gonna just use that to her advantage straight up. But then when Tyrion went and talked to her and we had that beautiful acting from both of them, I was like, oh,
Yeah, let's talk
well,
about
maybe
that because
he
that
got-
was like back to Game of Thrones' roots. Is that whole
Yeah.
scene where it's just 2 characters in a room talking to each other?
I believed her at the moment. But then as soon as she got out of that setting, I feel like you could see it.
Yeah, I don't know. And then John, of course, says that he's loyal to Daenerys.
That was just John being.
John.
He was being a little Ned Stark there. And honestly, if you think about it, that's one of those tiny mistakes. If it was earlier in the show, that someone would get killed by.
No.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
Straight up.
No, what? No. What?
Straight up.
What that mistake would cause is that Cersei wouldn't even join them at all, and then maybe he'd die from the Night King, but like, it wouldn't cause him to die right there. No one would kill him
but
right
in the
there.
long run.
Yeah.
Yeah. God.
Well, if you think about it, every character that dies, even next season, somewhere made a mistake to lead them to that point where they die. Like,
Well, that's in real life too.
exactly.
Well,
So I don't
no,
know what point you're trying
That's
to make.
not true. Like if someone went to a supermarket to shop and someone shot up a supermarket, I guess the mistake would be going to the supermarket, but that's not even a mistake.
It was that they ran out of food.
Hold on. Are we of the opinion that the things you do in life are inevitably lead to your death?
What I'm
because
s- what I'm
obviously 100% of the time.
All right.
That's what I'm saying. Is that
Okay,
point
I
means
got us
nothing.
off track. I apologize. Dislike the video if you want to.
Oh. Okay. All right. So I mean, then John and
be a
Danny have a
partner.
talk, and Danny says that she can't have kids again, which is like the 100th time that they said it
The
this
frosting
season,
on the cake of everyone knowing that they're eventually going to get together.
and have babies.
Yep.
A little incest baby.
Yeah.
Just a little one though.
Just a little
The,
bit.
the DNA is separated enough. That's just
No,
a
it is
No,
not.
like
No,
they're
it
actually
is
they're
not.
actually
Worse.
more. They're more genetically similar than anyone on the show, I think, because of the
'Cause they're
inbreeding
both-
and the
they're both
Targaryens.
handsome and attractive.
yeah.
Well, no, handsome.
Jimmy and Cersei are full-blooded brother-sister.
I know, but
They only
Like
share
twins.
one parent.
Twins.
They only share one parent.
They were in the same stomach at the same time.
but
that's
like
as close
the
as
main
you can
the
get.
main
Yeah, yeah,
problem
yeah, yeah.
the main problem with the Targaryens is that they've been inbreeding for
Oh, yeah.
centuries.
How
So their genetic code keeps getting closer and closer, and then eventually you get down to like they're kind of in the same.
like the same person.
No, they're
Wait,
like.
wait, wait, we
I
just
think
figured
they
out
said,
Eventually, the
cloning.
hills have eyes. I get
I think
it.
they said it's like 45% similar genetic.
We just figured out cloning on this podcast.
Did we do it? Guys, we did
If
it.
you have incest enough, you eventually get the same person.
What?
So is Danny and John going to give birth to John?
Jon Snow dies, but he doesn't. Okay,
Yeah,
this is turning
I
into
don't
a
I think they'll
cluster.
name. I think they'll name the son John
We got a foot.
because they are 100%. You pointed that out already. Are you just going to keep running with it? Or?
That was my bad.
Yeah.
All right, keep going.
I mean,
Figures the
are we
longest
done with
episode.
it?
We keep going off track.
Are we? Well, I mean, this is a big. Okay, this is a big episode. There's lots of stuff to talk about.
There is.
So are we done with the drag? Oh, with Tyrion and Cersei, were you scared for Tyrion when he?
Oh
said-
yeah, I thought Tyrion was dying right there. I thought Tyrion was never going to return,
Also,
and almost Dany and Jon and all them were almost going to be pushed out of King's Landing, and it was the complete opposite. Like literally, they left under their own power.
the one thing that I mean, Cersei's already kind of insane, but like she blamed Tyrion for the death of her children, which in some ways
She's
is
just
true.
naive. She's naive.
Well, in
She
some-
kind of broke on that a little bit this last
wa-
episode.
Yeah, and she wants to believe. Yeah, she broke down. She wants to believe what she wants to believe.
The only one that
Boy, you are just full of fucking wisdom today. She wants to believe what she wants to believe. Also, the things you do in life eventually lead to death.
you're an idiot.
Footbridge. All right, keep going.
But like, okay, so Myrcella, yeah,
Yep.
Tyrion's kind of 100%.
That's 100%. Well, no.
I'd
Not
just say a
even
solid
that.
75% because she caused a problem with. Wait, what did she
Nope.
cause a problem with?
Because if Cersei didn't prosecute Oberyn,
No,
then
you can't say
Ilaria
that.
Sand wouldn't want to kill Marcella.
She didn't prosecute Oberyn. Oberyn volunteered to fight the Mountain. It's Oberyn's fault for everything that happened to the Martell family. Also, it's Tyrion's kind of fault because he sent Myrcella off to Dorne, which was a smart move, but still. Tommen is like, I guess it kind of opened up for when he killed Tywin to like, she'd get desperate and give power to the High Sparrows. But like, she is almost 100% guilty for Tommen's death by killing everyone in King's Landing.
And Joffrey
Was Olenna's fault.
was Olenna's fault, but
Also
almost
her
Cersei
fault.
too,
And
because
Peter's.
Cersei raised Joffrey to be like that.
Peter, let's not forget Peter's in that too. Peter definitely
Peter
had
Baelish,
a
yeah.
hand,
I was thinking you were talking about Peter Dinklage.
Peter Dinklage also
the actual actor.
killed Joffrey.
Yeah.
Is that why
Interesting.
Joffrey, the actor that plays Joffrey, doesn't act anymore?
It's because
He's
it's not
actually dead?
Joffrey. It's Arya wearing.
No,
So what if
believe that.
Cersei gives birth, and then Arya takes off the mask and she was the baby, and then she kills?
I actually wouldn't want to live anymore. if they
Okay.
got to that.
How about Dany's entrance into the dragon pit?
That was her just
That's
showing
It's
off.
theatrical.
But yeah, what's
No,
up?
no, just like purely from a CGI standpoint when that dragon's climbing
awesome.
down that.
Awesome. I thought it was gonna look bad.
They have
was amazing.
They
Yeah, I
have
was like-
come miles and miles further than what the dragon CG used to be.
Like I couldn't believe it. I was looking at it like, oh,
Yeah.
this is gonna look sketchy.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Looked great.
And what's up?
Where's
with
Ghost? Put some of the CG on Ghost?
Yeah.
Ghost should be in the hall with
Ghost
them when
should be
they're killing
Ghost should be an
Littlefinger.
intricate part of this,
Ghost
this
should be
story.
should be
When they get to
riding
Winterfell?
Drogon.
He's better fight the whites with him, and he might
Yeah.
die, but still.
He probably will.
Well, Ghost embodies Jon Snow's ghost.
Also, how big will Ghost be? How big will Ghost be now? Like, could Jon ride him?
Probably like the size of a dragon. Could you imagine that? A wolf. Okay, never mind. But probably
That'd be awful. Then no
was-
one would be able to
that-
live on Westeros.
That's the joke. But second off, footbridge. But second off,
Great story, Nick.
but second off, yeah, I'm assuming it'd be big enough for him to. Because if you saw the Arya one,
He's not gonna
Arya
ride
could-
him though.
well, no, I
He's
know.
gonna ride the
Well,
dragon.
Why'd you ask?
Well, I'm just saying, could it be that big?
Yeah, I think.
But like
I think it is.
they also said Ghost is the runt of the litter, which means he's the smallest one.
Yeah, but they said that about Jon. And it turns out he's the most powerful.
They didn't say that about Jon at all.
They said he was a bastard, which
That
is
doesn't mean he's
essentially
the
the runt
runt.
of a group.
Wonder how close their DNA is.
Who?
Jon and Ghost.
Well, he can warg into him in the books, not in the show. Though.
Jon Snow can warg into
All
Ghost?
the Stark children can warg.
Whoa.
What?
In the books?
Yeah.
That's
What?
Whoa, that's like a completely different
Well, it's
story.
not. They don't do it as much as Bran, but like they have the same dreams that Bran did, where
where it
in the
leads you to
Ghost, and then
things.
Arya did warg into like a cat or something. So the Stark children can warg. See, because it's like they're descendants of the first men.
Because Bran the Builder.
I feel kind of betrayed by the TV series now that I'm not getting the full.
There's a lot of
details.
things. Like when
I
we
don't
get
think
into
it
the
would be that big of a deal.
no,
You
because they
said that just Arya did?
well they,
Arya
do, they
kinda
don't. No one does it as much as Bran. They just are connected with their direwolves on like a deep level, where it's
Kinda
like
like
they were
with the
destined.
dragons, with
Yeah.
the-
Since we're of the opinion that the Night King is warging into his, or whatever, the White Walkers are warging into the Walkers.
I think they are. Yeah.
Right. Does that mean Bran can warg into them as well?
That's what people are thinking is that
And
he
he
might
just doesn't know how yet.
Doesn't
he
know
he
how,
might like
doesn't figure
warg
it
into
out.
the dragon, and that's how they defeat
That's
it.
that's what I'm thinking.
But what if
And he might die in the process, but that would be a sweet exit for Bran if he like
was the dragon that ended up helping defeat?
yeah, and he dies, but that'd be pretty
Do you
That
sweet.
think
would
they're
be
gonna build one of
ridiculous.
those special saddles for a dragon for him?
Where's the dragon armor at?
They don't need it. Obviously,
I
they're
don't think they're
impenetrable.
gonna roll with that ever.
Balerion the Dread had it.
You did? Is this in the books? Next song.
Well, it's the guy,
Who's-
it's
who's that?
Aegon that conquered Westeros. He had Valyrian steel armor,
Yeah,
but they
no-
don't have that.
What a waste.
Make
no wonder
Dragonstone
they're running out of
armor.
Valyrian steel.
Make
I want a
Dragonstone
dragon
armor.
armor.
I mean, yeah, but like at the point they could make it. They could make Valyrian steel. 'cause
how
they
does
have
someone
dragons.
how does someone tailor a dragon?
It
You
wouldn't
get
be
him to
hard.
stand still.
Yeah.
You get him to okay,
You get
The
Tyrion-
Targaryens can control them, you idiot.
whatever.
Whatever, dude.
Whatever. This show sucks.
You're tearing us apart.
Okay, are we done with the Dragon Pit stuff?
Yeah, Dragon Pit's good. That was a good cover.
Okay, let's go. Well, let's just go to the Winterfell stuff then. We think Littlefinger's playing him, and then he dies. Anything else to add?
His look was like weird. He's almost looked like a reptile because his eyes moved left to right, blink, roll back, and he was like, "Wait, what?"
I'm confused, my lady.
No. And then he pauses for a long time too, and he's like,
Arya says my sister asked you a question. I don't know. I think it's very poetic for Littlefinger to go out like that. I feel like towards the end they a little bit squandered his storyline, but I mean,
"They almost
Redeemed though.
It was almost like
Yeah.
it was almost like I hated as much as I hated it. It was almost like an alley oop for like no. Think about it. Like Peter Baelish doing that storyline after Arya gave over the knife. Everyone knew that they were playing him.
Yeah.
In my opinion, we all knew that the Starks were playing Peter after Arya did the little thing where she's like flipped a knife over to Sansa. That's like an alley oop. He threw up the storyline. They killed him.
I mean, he went out pretty much
Yeah, I mean,
on his knees crying like a baby.
yeah, he did.
That was when he broke down and started begging. That sealed his whole arc for me. That was perfect. It was absolutely
I
perfect.
just
And he dies by the blade that started the entire series, pretty
Yeah.
much.
yeah, I liked it.
People,
Also
I wish
great.
more people died this season. I do.
Also great when he does that thing where he's kind of like looking down and kind of looking through his eyebrows to her, and he's like, can we talk alone?
yeah,
She's like,
and you
"No."
can see him making like the final play.
Right.
But, and then he just, as soon as that doesn't
What,
work,
how,
he
did,
decides
how would
to
you
go
feel
desperate.
with what Sansa said to him? Like, I'll remember your lessons. And
Yeah, well, like
goodbye."
I saw a graph that was like how people feel about Sansa, and then it like goes down on season 7, and then the last episode it like spikes.
What I'm confused on though is how come it didn't go up when she killed Ramsay?
It did.
Oh,
It was
did?
up,
Okay.
and then it, like
Went
season
down
7.
all season 7 and then it spiked again.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. See, I don't think Sansa's as annoying as what people say. Like she literally says, "I'm a slow learner," which is why people hate her. But she
She learned.
She's a
She
neutral
learned.
character.
She's
She's a
learned.
neutral character for me. I don't care.
Yeah, I don't
really
hate her.
either
I don't really like her
Yeah.
that much. I like when the Starks are all together. I can tell you that much.
Everyone has like their specialty in the Stark family, and I'm including Jon in this too because he's still a Stark pretty much. Where
He was raised by
it's
them.
like Sansa's political, Arya's
an
the
assassin.
assassin, Jon can fight,
Bran's
and
the
then
three-eyed
wisdom.
raven.
What's Theon's?
Theon.
He has no wiener, so he can get kneed in the balls.
Yeah.
That's his specialty.
SpongeBob with flats.
People
flats
think
the bully.
Theon's like the drowned god because it's like what is dead may never die, and he's dead on the inside, so he's never gonna die.
People are looking way too hard at that.
You never know, though.
Also, I don't know about you guys, but when I get kneed in the crotch, I feel it in my balls, not my wiener. And I'm assuming he
Well,
still has those.
He doesn't have his balls.
He doesn't.
Why
have,
not?
Because he's like the.
He's like a eunuch.
Yeah, he's
no,
like
he
the-
is a eunuch.
He's like the Unsullied. I mean, we saw a little sneak peek of Grey Worm stuff. I feel like that's how.
Yeah, but he didn't have when Ramsey is eating that little wiener off the dish. He doesn't have two meatballs next to it.
Because he wasn't eating his wiener.
He's like, I took your penis, and he sent the penis. He didn't send the balls in the box. Like the whole up until that point, everything is said. Took his dick. Balls are still there.
Mike, I think you're overthinking it. I think the whole
I
thing
think
is
they
gone.
took his balls.
You can never think too much about balls. A.
B, they took his balls.
I think you're overthinking it. He doesn't have anything down there, which I can't comprehend.
I still think if you got kneed in the
It would still
urethra, you would still feel some
Like
pain.
it would still hurt. No, and like even just getting kneed anywhere on your body, it hurts a little bit.
What's worse? Having your balls and dick taken, or just taking your dick and then you're like, oh, I still have these balls though because they get in the way. That's worse.
Exactly. I'd want them all off if I got it.
Right. So if Ramsey's really pure evil, he's leaving them things there.
And you guys are mad because I'm talking about a footbridge.
See, the problem is that he just took it because he took all of that.
He took everything away from him.
But
That he
you're
loved.
just saying that.
That,
How do you
no,
know?
that his father loved. His father wanted kids.
Yeah, that too. But Theon was always like, he was kind of like Tyrion in the way that he loved sleeping around and stuff.
Yeah.
But who knows how many STDs Ramsay saved the rest of Westeros by cutting off his.
Probably a lot. Probably a lot.
Next.
I mean, we're still on Winterfell. Like, now that the Stark family's kind of reunited in a way, do you
Love
think
it.
do you think they were playing him the whole time, or do you think it was
No.
kind of like? I feel like Sansa clued in when Peter Baelish said that Arya wanted to be the Lady of Winterfell, and she knew that that wasn't true at all. And then she went to Bran and was like, "Help me fact check this," and he's like,
I think everything was set in stone when Arya flipped the knife to her.
"That's when she knew something was up."
I think Arya actually wanted Sansa to kill him.
Yeah.
That's why
Also,
she did that.
Also, throughout the entire show, since episode 1, it was always he or she who passes the sentence must swing the sword.
That's
So I
a-
thought Sansa was going to kill him, but
When did Arya
Sansa's
piece
weak.
it together?
What?
When did Arya piece it together?
instantly.
Instantly. I
No,
don't
okay, so you think she didn't know right up until the moment that Sansa
no, no.
turned to Peter, you don't think Arya knew anything?
No, I think she knew.
I think Arya
Okay,
knew
so when
as-
did she piece it together?
as soon as she talked to Sansa about the note directly.
Yeah.
But then again, I thought Arya was pretty mad there. But I think after talking to Sansa and seeing how emotional she got, maybe I don't know. I think we're digging too deep. They played him.
Yeah, it's weird. I
Arya
feel like
was
there should
stupid
be
for a
more
couple
stuff of them
yeah.
figuring it out, but then that would mean more Winterfell stuff, and I don't think we needed that this season.
Well, if we needed more episodes, I wish they
It
would have
just-
done
it's-
10 and 10. We
It
would've
just
got
felt like
more.
something was missing. Like right in between the one where they confront each other and the one where
I
Baelish
heard there
tries
was
to
a deleted scene. 100% there was a deleted scene between Sansa and Bran where she goes to him,
Okay.
but that's all I know.
Okay. Well, okay.
But Arya
I'm
wasn't there
satisfied.
still, so it's like, how did Arya get, I don't know, maybe they just
I
talked to her and
I
said.
saw a deleted scene for the first time a couple days ago.
Maester Pycelle, I already saw that a long time ago, but
Pycelle and Tywin.
there's a little bit of that,
Why didn't they leave that in? It straight up tells you that
because they already did straight up tell you earlier. There was like an episode where they
He's
confront
with the
him.
prostitute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's just talking and
Yeah.
standing normal.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like
Interesting character,
but
not played out as well as he should be.
for
what
some
he
people
is.
though, they probably just completely missed that. And second off,
Well, some people still didn't understand that Jon was a Targaryen up until the finale.
Pycelle in that deleted scene had one of the best analogies I've heard of the show.
I don't remember it.
He was like saying that everyone in the garden just wants to grow as tall as they can. I want to stay a little flower in the garden for as long as I can, kind of thing like that. And then Tywin's like, well, what happens when we're not the most powerful family in Westeros? He was like, I'll be 6 feet underground by then, or something like that. I don't know. It was pretty.
I mean, it happened.
It was pretty cool. I thought it was fake at first, but then I was like, wait, how could this ever be fake?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
No. When he first walked up, I didn't know Tywin was in it. I was like, what is this? And then
Tywin's
I showed-
fishing, isn't he?
Yeah.
In it, yeah.
Okay. Anyway.
Yeah, I saw it. There's a lot of deleted scenes. There was a deleted scene with Ghost, I guess, this season. There was the Conor McGregor thing that was deleted. I don't know.
Oh, I gotta see that. Is it out? Is it out?
No.
yet? Okay.
And then people were saying that
That'll be
people were
interesting.
really mad about Ghost like not being in the season and how there was no mention of him. But Sansa does mention Ghost, and it's like,
Yeah, it's a little.
Like you
What
said,
is-
like a throwaway line.
yeah, it was like, what does Jon expect me to do? Just wait around faithfully like Ghost until he gets back? Like that's what she says, and it's like, show me Ghost.
Mhm.
It's like the Ghost, like Ghost is probably way easier to CG than the dragons.
I would imagine.
Way easier.
Well, the thing is with Ghost, you could literally just get a dog or like something close to it.
Just like a border collie,
Yeah,
well,
like
you
a
need an
golden
albino
retriever.
one.
an albino
Well, yeah,
border
but you know what I
collie.
mean, and you can use that to mold your
CG.
CG. The
Yeah.
dragon, you literally have to hand make.
People love Ghost, and at some point they got to be like, you are my favorite customer. I will give you Ghost in the next.
And then it's like, oh, hi. But I don't know. And then the whole Winterfell thing, I'm glad it paid off like a little bit, because throughout the season I was like, what are they doing to Sansa? What are they doing to Arya? Where is Bran at
when
this
that
whole
was
time?
right when that first started developing, I was like, what are they doing? But then honestly, it took me a little longer than some, I guess. But like when Arya flipped the knife, I was like, yep, they're playing a major, like not even like a little play, a major play.
And then Littlefinger dies, trying to get one more word out as
Yeah, that was crazy. That was one of the most gruesome. Well, not I wouldn't say gruesome, but it was definitely a gruesome death.
It was good.
He's like,
It was good. He was
Purpose.
competing with the dragon for blood coming out the neck.
yeah. I mean,
I mean,
Straight up.
per capita body
yeah,
wise.
yeah.
Pound for pound.
But I thought it was perfect how he was just trying one more time to try to scheme, and then it's just like
Yeah.
shut down.
No, it's perfect.
Cut his vocal cords, the thing that he used to.
Absolutely perfect.
Great death in the show. Like, I mean, he like joins a bunch of characters that died, like how they would kill others or went on to kill others or stuff like that, because
Ramsey's very serendipitous too.
I don't remember.
Tywin, Roose, Walder
See, I
Frey with the
watched-
Wed Running.
I
so.
started like, obviously I didn't watch the show. Well, not obviously, but I didn't watch the show live right when it first started. But I watched the first season probably 2015 in there. So I don't really remember. Why was he holding a knife up to Ned's throat in season 1?
It was because a giant thing broke out in the throne room, where it was like Ned Stark walked in and Cersei turned all the Kingsguard on to the Stark men, and they killed the Stark men, and then Littlefinger went up to him.
I faintly remember that now. But yeah, I just didn't remember that. And when we get a little flashback, right, of that?
No,
No, it's in the before the episode.
I don't know.
You don't
Why?
remember that? It was before.
It was because I feel like that's spoilers if they show up.
They did,
before the
though.
episode.
They
I
did.
hate that stuff.
I could be wrong. Let us know in the comments.
Did they have the guy who played Danny's brother come back and play their father?
Played their
That's
father.
not their father.
What-
That's
Or
their older
John's
brother.
father?
No.
Older brother?
Yeah.
Well-
That's
well-
Danny's older brother.
We'll talk about it when we get to the Jon
I
stuff.
thought that was Rhaegar's secret wedding.
it was, but it.
Rhaegar's Danny's older brother.
All right.
And
well,
it's-
But
I,
we'll get to
I know,
that.
guys. I know the show. Come on.
But okay, so we're done with Winterfell. Let's go to the like Jaime breaking away from Cersei and that whole scene.
Loved it. I thought Jamie was dead. I honestly, this is the first time this season that twice in an episode I thought we were going to lose a major character. Or actually, there's 3 this episode because I knew we were going to lose Peter too. But I genuinely thought Tyrion was going to die. I actually was like, wow, this could be it for Tyrion. He was just like all in emotionally. Jamie, I thought that was going to be Jamie's end. But then he was like, he was pretty sad. You could tell, obviously, since that's been his companion is literally his whole life. But he was like, I don't believe you. Walked out. This was one of my favorite sequences of the whole episode because it was so powerful. They acting perfect, and then
The guy who plays Jaime, man, like he's so
Nicola
good.
Coster-Waldau,
He's so good, man.
incredible. I will literally watch any. I think he just had another movie come out where he's like a prison
But like
guy.
the face where she nods and it like cuts to him and he's like breaks down a little bit. Perfect.
He was like,
yeah, it was good.
but like it was like a broken.
Right before
But-
I don't believe you.
Yeah, it was so good. And then he walks out, gets on his horse, leaves. But then hold on, that sequence isn't over. Then we get snow on King's Landing.
And then that shot of the snow coming down on the map of Westeros, saying that it's like covered
That
in
was
snow. now.
one of my favorite sequences of the show, I think, so far. That was so
See,
good.
One thing that I kind of want to point out with like Jaime's whole character is like you see him like commanding his army, like He's into it. He's like, we're gonna march on the north because he.
He never gets filled in on stuff.
The thing is that Jamie, his whole life, like up and like as soon as he killed the Kingslayer, and then he started doing like Cersei
He's
started
been
going off the,
honorable.
like, he knew he was fighting for the bad side, and he knew it when he was talking to Olenna, and he knew all that, but he just was so dedicated
That's
to
where
Cersei
he's at, like,
that
he can't change
and now
anything.
he was about to march north to help fight the Great War. He knew he was on the good side for this. He's planning out everything, and then Cersei comes in and just crushes that.
And
He doesn't make this decision the first season, though. First season, he's still with Cersei.
Yeah. What I'm saying
He's
is
kinda
throughout
pulled
the
in
whole
then.
show
He's
is that
really
he's
pulled in then.
like throughout the show he starts to realize that he's on the bad side.
And think about it this way too. In season 1, he had 3 kids with Cersei. Now he has none. He has nothing left with
He's
her.
got one.
And also, I just want to say on top of this, Cersei straight up says, "I always knew you're the dumbest Lannister."
Yeah,
like
why would you talk to him like that?
she's a dumb.
I mean, but he is, though.
She's a dumb. No, he's not.
Yeah, he is.
I mean, he is.
I mean, think about it. He's not stupid, but compared to the rest of them, he's the dumbest
He's
one.
the dumbest Lannister.
He's not. Yeah, but he's.
I mean, Tommen was dumber than he was.
Yeah, and
then
Tommen's
you got
dead.
that Lancel prick. He's
I just-
probably dumber
He's
than he
dead
is.
too.
And but the thing is, I don't like them describing him as the dumbest because he's not even close to being dumb.
And then kind of
I know what they're saying. Like, in
Cersei kind of
He's the least
comparison-wise.
smart Lannister.
Cersei kind of throws it. I mean, he kind of throws it in Cersei's face by saying, "If the dead win, they march south, kill
He
us all.
straight
If the
up-
North wins and they find
She
out we
doesn't get
betrayed
it.
them, they'll march south and kill
Yeah,
us
what
all."
is she thinking?
Even if they get the Golden Company, which is 20,000 troops, Dany has dragons still, 100,000 Dothraki, and Unsullied people,
And then if they all fail,
and the North Army now with the Knights of the Vale and everything.
and if literally all those people fail fighting the
Then
Night
what
King,
makes you think you're
then
going
it
to win?
doubles the Night King, and then you just hit. Well, not double because they'll probably lose some too, but like then just bring it all back. Three, like
no way,
three
man.
dragons.
Like, yeah.
Like
Plus-
he would literally have 3 dragons.
Plus, she said like, didn't she loot? Like, she's basically inferring that they lost a dragon to the Night King.
Yeah, what
And
does
it's
it
like,
matter?
Wouldn't that scare you? That's something that you couldn't take down. This Night King takes down.
Right.
Whatever,
Yeah.
Cersei. Like, she's
So-
too in her head now, where she just wants
Yeah.
to win so
She's
bad. that-
delusional.
No, she's a
absolutely
straight up delusional. And you know what? I've been saying it in this podcast for this whole season. I'm fine with her dying, but like right now, straight up, I've been saying it a lot this podcast. Straight up, I think we just crossed a threshold where she's in dying territory now.
Well, I mean, everyone's in dying
No.
territory.
I honestly have never really thought that would die.
well, yeah, because
until-
she's not really important anymore if you
she-
think about it.
Yeah, like this just crossed a line. I'm having trouble describing it, but this just crossed a line in the show where I genuinely think Cersei's gonna die now.
It's kind of like her arc is wrapped up, where it's like,
Yeah.
Well, the Game of
She
Thrones
lost
arc is
everything.
almost wrapped
Yeah.
up.
Yeah, but like the whole show, I was never like.
really the
"Damn,
only thing
Cersei's gonna die."
the only thing Cersei has is like just another thorn in the side of the people trying to live. Like, that's what she is, because who knows if she's gonna march behind them as they're fighting the Night King.
And then
I'd kill myself if that happened.
It probably is gonna happen. I feel like they got pancake like Battle of the Bastards.
Dude,
And then
imagine if that's
Robin-
the last show is like 2 different battles going on at once.
That
It's
would be
like-
pretty
And then
cool.
Robin of the Vale runs in and brings no troops, and he kills-
Robin's the hero.
And then no, Robin dies.
He
Kill him,
He
please.
jumps out the moon
I don't think
window.
we'll see him again.
He's kind of like
Unless, what if Sansa married him?
I mean, all of his connections.
might happen. I think that might happen.
And then
Or-
everyone will get their wish with
How
Sansa being
great would it
tortured
be if
again.
Sansa marries Tyrion? Like, if that, like, they,
Because they never got a divorce.
Yeah.
If they just went on it, like.
but it
men-
was never consummated, so it
Yeah.
doesn't really count.
Okay.
But still, that'd be a good alliance.
It's funny though, because like I guarantee people would cheer if Sansa married Robin, even though she's already been married to 2 people.
Yeah,
that-
The
Robin's a-
Sansa Tyrion alliance is already made because Jon is already.
Yeah, but I know,
pledged
but
fealty.
like, that would be the combining, because Jaime's gonna die. Love the character, but he's gonna die, which means I think Tyrion will live and he'll become the Lord of Casterly Rock, which means he's the Lord of the Lannisters, the one thing that he never thought he would be.
Okay.
And then pair up the Starks and the Lannisters that were in a fight at the beginning of the show, pair them up at the end. Because
Sure.
Jon really isn't, like, even if he doesn't accept his Targaryen stuff, all that, he won't be a Stark. So he wouldn't be able to, like, get those 2 houses together, plus there's no daughters over there. So I just feel like the last episode of the show, like, it'll be like, episode 5 is going to be like the wrap up of the Night King and all that stuff, and episode 6 is going to be like what the
goes
world
on.
is left.
Yeah, it's like the last half hour of Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, where like what happens
Wow,
now.
yeah, I forgot there was. I keep forgetting that there's only 6 episodes.
But they're gonna be longer, I
Yeah,
think.
they'll be
feature
long.
length.
But
Are we
yeah.
gonna
Oh
see?
man, I hope that finale passes season 6 finale for me. It's got to.
I think
It's gotta.
I think every episode's gonna be fantastic.
Are we gonna see ice boats?
Ice boats?
Yeah.
I don't think they need them.
They
They're
got the
in-
dragon. They
past
can
the
carry
wall.
like a couple of people.
And they're past the wall.
But here's what I'm thinking though: is
Oh,
the Iron
Essos.
Islands and Dorne or whatever the islands out there where people Euron's basically like, I'll see you later. I'm going to an island.
I wonder if they're looking.
But he's going to Essos now. He lied about going to.
I wonder
Iron
if
Islands.
I wonder if Bran.
I don't know where Essos is.
I was
Where
just.
Danny was.
I literally just thought of this. I wonder if they're trying to get to Bran because they want him to be their god essentially, and if they got Bran, then he could freeze the oceans.
The one thing that I kind of had, and there's tons of flaws in
Dig
it.
deep for that
There's
one.
tons of
Dig
flaws
deep.
where the White Walkers just want to die. Like the Night King just wants to die, and like since he's
Then
the
why do you
first.
take the dragon?
Well, since the first thing is that like he can't be killed by Valyrian steel. He can't be killed by any of that because like I don't know. This is just a wild theory, and the only way he can die is by killing Bran, and that's why he tried to march in on the thing.
That's why I grabbed him.
Yeah, like all this stuff. I think that thing
Did he-
too is just a tracking device on Bran.
Did he get a mark?
He still has the mark on him.
Did he get a mark? I can't remember. What did it look like?
It just looks like a handprint that's like frostbite, like right on his.
Sweet. I forgot about that. Well,
Pretty
no, I knew
cool.
he got touched, but like I forgot that he had the mark. Okay.
Yeah, in real life instead of in the working stuff.
Yeah, like the actor actually has the mark.
I don't know. I hope there's so much that they have to do with the White Walkers to make them like.
How
Bran's
citrus-
gonna kill himself.
I feel like
He's
yeah.
gonna jump out the window.
No,
can't
no, the
jump.
Night King's gonna be able to use
He'll
him
wheel
somehow.
out the window.
Hey,
The Night King's gonna be able to use him somehow. He's gonna realize it. He's gonna kill himself because he realizes that he's a weapon of the Night Kings.
hey, cool tattoo alert. What if forget Isaac something, whoever plays Bran.
Isaac
If you're
Hempstead, right?
Yeah, if you're watching, which
I know he does.
which I'm assuming you do, get a tattoo to commemorate Game of Thrones of the mark that the Night King touched you.
No, I think that looked too weird.
All right, next.
Yeah, so Jamie's finally joining one of my favorite characters that was not even close to being my favorite character at the beginning of the show, is finally joining the actual storyline that matters.
And it makes me so giddy, but yet so sad because we're gonna have to wait to see it. But literally, anyone that I like is gonna be in Winterfell.
And if you think about it, like
Well, I don't know if they're going, but they're going north.
They're-
Everyone's gonna be there.
they're finally gonna get like a good battle commander, because like Jon isn't a good battle commander, Davos isn't really, like none of them, like Dany never had one, and now Jamie's coming
Military
up.
experience.
Yeah, like and that's like the one thing that he loves is like he loves being the military leader.
I
And he
wonder
loves,
if he'll have like a.
someone was saying giving him
a-
a Valyrian steel hand so he can just slap the Night King and kill him.
It'd have to have some sharp edge because you need to pierce them, don't
Could you imagine if someone, I saw this on Reddit and like I got a little like warm on the inside because it's like the only thing that, because like the whole thing is Jamie wants to be remembered for something, and in the book all he's remembered for is killing the king.
Yeah. And
So what if he kills the Night King and then he goes down as the Kingslayer, but he killed the Night King instead of, and he dies in the process, but he kills the Night King.
Yeah, I would love it. Honestly,
I think that's too big for him. I don't think he's that big of a character.
You think Jon Snow deserves to kill the Night
see,
King?
but I,
I
would.
just think he's like fourth in line.
I
at
would
best.
disagree. I think he is a big enough character to kill the Night King.
I think any character that has Valyrian steel is big enough besides Brienne.
Okay.
Because that'd come out of left field, but I like that idea. You know, I'm open to anyone killing the Night King at this point. Honestly, I would love to see anyone do it.
I thought you said the Night King couldn't be killed by Valyrian steel.
No, that was just like, that's the
Theory.
random theory that
Gotcha.
like just to give, because we have no
From
reason.
the internet.
We
Yeah.
literally know nothing about them.
Yeah, because we have no
And-
idea what they want. Like, do they really just want to kill everyone? Like, why?
That's what I'm. That's the thing.
That's what zombies
I don't.
do.
Well, no, but listen. Okay, only like not the Night King isn't a zombie. Essentially, he was
He's
like,
a human turned into
Yeah. No. The zombies are the whites. Those are for 100% zombies.
The
gotcha.
Walking
I
Dead,
gotcha.
but
But
better.
the Night King, like he's 100% different from the whites. But the thing I'm confused on, I don't know if they're trying to do it, but like we literally know, like 2%, maybe a little bit more, 2% to 5% of what these people are or what they are.
All we know is their origin.
It's true.
We know their origin, and we literally don't know what they want. We don't even know what they haven't even hinted at what they're going for besides north or west of the wall or south of the wall.
We have no idea. We know that they kind of warg into him, and once you kill the White Walker, it kills the dead.
And he
or
saw
hunting them.
Bran, so we know that's somewhere connected. But like other
Yeah,
than
you
that,
can see Bran in his visions.
other than that,
What was the conversation that went down between that guy north of the? What was it? The guy who had the cabin, and then he got taken over?
Craster's.
Craster. Yeah. What was
Craster's
the
cabin, or what was it,
conversation that he
Craster's?
had with one of the walkers, where it's like, listen, I'm gonna give you some of my babies that I don't want.
Yeah, how did he create this agreement with them?
Where did that?
Maybe he
remember.
just made a
Did we see
sacrifice
it?
to one.
That
we
guy
see
probably
it?
knows more.
We didn't
than-
see the agreement. We just
I
saw
think they were
him.
just coming in on him, and they took his kid. He was holding his kid or something.
Yeah, because if
I honestly cannot remember. All I remember is him placing a baby and we seeing a White Walker come
Look,
grab it.
because
I
I don't
remember
think
that part.
Yeah.
I don't think the White Walkers really. It's so weird because they didn't kill Craster. They didn't kill Sam when they were walking by him and they saw him. Remember?
Yeah.
Like they looked at
They
him
must
and then
be
kept
going
walking.
for someone.
Exactly. Like they better. I don't
think
know if
it's
there's enough
Jon.
time to explain it. They might be going,
That's
but
what
they
I- that's
also
what I'm
went
getting-
for Bran.
That's what I'm getting worried with. Like, I don't know if they're doing it on purpose, but I'm starting to get concerned because I want to know personally. I think they're running out of time to explain
Exactly,
this
that's what
in
I'm
a
concerned about,
correct
too.
way, unless we get 2-hour episodes every time next season.
Maybe
but-
they want Bran to become the new Night King, or Jon,
or maybe Bran's a sacrifice for them to be done.
because I feel
The
like that
three-eyed
might
raven.
be something that happens where someone is sacrificed to them and then they disappear for another.
Forgot this. Craster set the baby out. The White Walker came and grabbed it, and then Sam killed that White Walker, and that's how they have Sam Jr. Correct?
Yeah.
Is that correct, or did
Well,
Gilly have a kid?
Gilly had a kid and they ran off together when the mutiny started happening at
Okay,
Craster's
that's
Keep.
what I was thinking. I was.
And then
thinking,
the
I was
White
like,
Walker was coming for the kid, and then
then Sam
Sam
killed
killed it.
Yeah.
Sam the Slayer.
I remember that whole thing, but like I think I had it twisted. So now that I know.
Are you untwisted now?
And then
Okay, so let's just talk about the big bomb between Bran, Sam, and Jon and Dany. One thing I kind of want to touch on, because people are weirded out by Bran's abilities, like how did he not know that they got married? It's because Bran needs to know
open
about.
your mind. People don't get it.
Bran needs to know about something to go back in time and see it. The only reason why he was able to see like the Tower and Joya stuff is because the three-eyed raven
pointed
showed
him in the right direction.
Yeah, it's like it's like being inside of the Library of Congress. You have all the information of the world at your fingertips, but you have to open the book and look at it and know what it
Or
is.
like having a GPS, you can literally go anywhere, but you need to type in an address first.
I like mine better.
Yeah, I like his better too. But you see him like he downloads everything. Like you see like all these events flashing in his head, but that's him just downloading everything pretty much.
Yeah, he's
and now he needs
matrixing.
to go back and access
And-
it.
Yeah,
and that's why Sam and
he's
Bran
learning
together.
kung fu.
And me and you talked about this the night of the episode. I don't know if they'll utilize it to what they could, but how awesome is it going to be when Tyrion gets back there and we got Bran, the internet, Sam,
The curious guy.
the researcher, and Tyrion, the person who would use that information.
It's gonna be good.
I really hope that we get at least one scene where they're all three together, and it's like, it's like that meme where it's like,
Yeah,
with the
I'm-
brain explosion of like
I'm
instant knowledge.
I'm super excited for Bran and Sam to be together because Sam, like even when he was in the library, he's like, I just want to know information. That's Sam's whole thing is he just wants to know stuff, and he doesn't know how to get to the information. He has all the information of the world.
All right,
at
so
his fingertips.
most
Hold on.
ex-
I
go
was,
for it, go
I was
for
just
it.
gonna say one thing, and I just remembered that we got a little clip in I think season 3 or somewhere in there where we hear about Tyrion and how all he would do as a kid because everyone would
Is
make fun of him
read.
is read. So we gotta get a scene.
All the
You know what?
information lovers
Right
in
after
one
this
spot.
video, I'm gonna go make that meme with the brain explosion. And it's gonna be awesome. I'll post it on Twitter. Nick Talan retweet it or something.
What were you about
that
to
was
say?
some great multi-marketing networking there. Holy
I'm 100%
shit.
kidding, but honestly, it's a good meme. May have to produce it anyway.
Invest.
You were
Tweet
say
it,
something though.
flip it, send it out on Lenstagram.
All right, what were you gonna say though?
I was gonna say, like, what do you going off of him? What are you guys' favorite characters to see, like, actually making a storyline together? For me, I want to see Jamie and Tyrion back together.
Yep, I want to see them. I kind of
Or
like
Sam and
Jon
Bran.
and Dany together.
Yeah.
Like I don't like them together, but I like them working
I like
together.
them. I like them together.
I even like them together for a little bit. Like
For
I,
just a
it's a
little
little
bit.
weird.
They-
It's
well,
still
As
weird.
long as he pulls out, I'm fine.
Not
with
even
it.
that. Not even that. Like I'm fine with it, but I just hope because they are the two. I'd say like the two moneymaker faces in the show.
George R. Martin
Yeah.
said it himself that the whole story is about them coming together.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I hope they just, especially since we only have 6 episodes left, I hope they don't beat the dead horse with it.
With what?
with their relationship.
I think first episode, Danny finds out she's pregnant. John finds out his heritage. It's a little weird. Second episode, they get married, and that's it. And then one of them dies at the end.
That sounds about
And that's
right.
their whole story.
That
that's
sounds
fine with
about
me.
right.
But like you or what you asked, Bran and Sam. If we ever get Bran, Sam, and Tyrion, that would be incredible. And maybe even throwing a little sprinkle of Davos in that group.
like
Davos
Davos.
really doesn't do
I like
anything.
Davos.
I
love
like.
him,
I did
but
like for the
Davos can never die.
for like
It's fine with
literally
me.
He
the
kind
2
of can
minutes.
though, because he doesn't really serve a purpose.
I mean, just for me. Like,
For
he
the-
can
yeah,
never
no.
die.
For
I
the
know, I
2
love him.
minutes that we got it, I really like Gendry and John, even though their fathers are like the
Mortal
ultimate enemies
I like that
in Game
too.
of Thrones.
I'd really like to see more Gendry and John together.
And I thought it like obviously it's ironic, but I really liked how they're under this impression that their fathers were friends, and that gives them a bond to work together. But deep down,
Their fathers still were friends.
Brienne and the Hound with Arya. I really
Yeah,
like that
no,
whole thing. I really like
Cut
that
out
whole thing.
Brienne. I just want the Hound and Arya. Like I love Brienne. I love the character, but like they don't
I'm
really
just
serve
saying.
a purpose.
I'm just saying. When
Yeah, Brienne
Brienne,
can get together with Tormund.
But like
Tormund's dead.
I'm with
if
you.
he's not
The Hound-
dead, come on.
The Hound and Arya is one of like the things that I'm most excited to see.
100%. But what I'm saying
Because
is,
that's one of my favorite storylines in the entire show is the Hound and Arya together.
what I'm trying to say is the Hound and Brienne. Well, that was a really cool dynamic, and they're both connected to Arya. That's what
Yeah.
I meant to say.
You know what that reminds me of is like Leon the Professional. Anybody ever seen that? No? All right.
Anyway.
I mean,
what else? What
John,
else, though?
John and Bran would be cool.
All the Starks, because John hasn't been there with all three of them there. Once we get that fourfecta, it's gonna be crazy.
The fourfecta.
I was
the
thinking
quadfecta.
trifecta, but I just
It'd be
okay.
quadfecta.
You like fourfecta better?
Yeah, it's like in Leon the Professional.
But anyway, I will really like that. Honestly, straight up. Okay, this is the straight up segment of the podcast.
Straight up. This is the straight dope.
Anyone I don't hate, if they're talking, I like it.
What the?
Straight up, okay?
I mean, yeah.
New portion of the
I'm gonna
podcast,
pull
straight
so
up.
many quotes from you on this.
Okay. I mean, John's my favorite character in the show.
My favorite.
No.
I'm glad you said your favorite character.
Well, no, I said I meant
know.
like,
Yeah,
your
yeah,
favorite,
yeah.
like Jon Snow's your favorite.
No. At the beginning it was Arya. Now it's probably
Sansa. Yeah. All
probably
right.
Peter. I mean, Peter Baelish is probably my favorite character.
He's dead.
I know.
Was he really?
Yeah.
God, you are that kind of guy, huh?
Yeah.
I like Peter too.
No,
I
you like a good villain.
I do. I do like a good villain.
So did you like Ramsay and Joffrey then?
I liked Ramsay. I felt bad for Theon, but I did like Ramsay's character, just the pure evilness of him, and that you didn't know what he was going to do.
Is it
next.
true that?
I mean, that dude was straight fucked up. When he brings him away and saves him, and then brings him back, that's
Yeah.
next
that's
level
crazy. Like
shit.
I honestly,
that's next level.
that's one of the things in the show that blindsided me when that happened. I was like, whoa.
But it's like foreshadowed for like episodes before that. You just don't pick up on
I'm
it. 'cause
forgetting
like,
his name. It's no, what's his
Aaron
name?
Riolan?
Yeah, whatever. He's playing Adolf Hitler, right, in the show?
Is
Yeah.
Yeah.
he? Oh, Zeke.
So good for him. I mean, he went up.
Okay. I think John.
Yeah, don't
John's my
completely ignore that.
John's my favorite character, but I think that's a little cliche. I will say that Jamie has one of the most interesting storylines in the entire show.
Sure.
And that he's one of the characters that I find most interesting, and I'm most interested to see what happens to his arc.
Yeah, I honestly
As
like.
far as arcs and changing,
Just start naming off characters.
I mean, Arya.
One of my
who's
favorites.
changed more?
Sansa.
The Hound has
One
a
of, like-
pretty really big change. in his
Arya's
arc, too.
awesome. I mean, the Hound has an awesome arc as well.
Okay, but keep naming them off.
But the fire thing needs to end. Like I feel like
Yeah.
they need to. Next season, he just dies by fire and kills
Tormund
the
or
mountain with it.
Thoros dying from that was stupid. I'd rather have had a couple die during the actual fight, you'd think, rather than a polar bear.
Yeah.
I know Dan and David in the featurette said, we always wanted a polar bear. Like, come on. Like,
Come
right?
on.
Like, come on.
Okay.
Come on.
We can't go through all the characters and name them off. So I'm
But
just gonna.
what I'm saying is, like, there's a couple that I'm indifferent with, but, like, a lot of them, I just genuinely I'm, like, connected to them. And that's the thing
Well,
that's
that's
going
what
to
7
suck this
seasons
season.
get you.
Exactly. I've never been more connected to characters in a show since I watched The Office a year ago.
It's also kind of crazy to think
Because
of
Michael
like.
Scott and Jon Snow are essentially the same person.
I agree.
You're what?
I'm dropping bombs this episode.
It's kind of-
I kind of see where you're coming from on that.
no, but I was.
how could you even remotely see it?
I do.
No, but
I
let
kind
me-
of get. It's
listen.
just stupid with a good heart.
Listen, okay, no,
I mean, yeah.
That's true. I didn't expect you to connect it.
No, but what I'm actually saying is, like, I was kidding about the Michael Scott Jon Snow thing, but I, like, literally, since I've watched the show, it doesn't, no matter what genre it is, I haven't been connected to the characters as much since I watched The Office. I really liked almost all the characters in
Something-
That's what she said.
Something interesting to point out is like the characters that have been alive since season 1, because someone made like a thing where it's like you won Game of Thrones, like the actors themselves, because they were in this show from season 1 to the
Oh,
end.
and they're to the point where they're just printing money.
And it's kind of like I'm actually like there's so many characters that are still alive that were in season 1. Like it's
There is, yeah.
it's pretty insane.
And, like, you'd think it'd be a
even
lower
season
number,
2 with
but
like
yeah.
Davos and them, like Davos and Melisandre, they've been in.
Where's
Yeah.
Melisandre?
She said that she went off to what was it?
Somewhere. She'll be back, though.
Yeah, because she says she has to die. And she also said that she'll see Arya again.
Yeah.
Yeah,
King's
so
Landing,
that's-
though, right?
That's fine.
Or just again. Again.
Yeah, but honestly, I'm just excited. I mean, we have to wait a while, but I'm really excited to see this dynamic in the North with all these characters. Because honestly, besides,
If they do it the justice that they did in the Dragon Pit, I think it's going to be great.
If everybody is just in the North and Cersei's just being a bitch in King's Landing, awesome.
that's what I'm saying. 'cause
Awesome.
That's straight up, Mike. Because listen, there's another straight up segment.
Straight up dope.
Straight up stuff right here. Besides the Night King, Cersei's like the only character left that I really dislike, and she's isolated. And we got all the best ones right
Yeah,
in the
what
middle.
are,
Robin
they gonna,
Aaron?
what are they going to do with Cersei's storyline next?
No, I actually like the more when we talked about it, I think there actually may be a chance that it's going to go like this
Where
on
they
the North.
pancake him? Or will Theon stop him because he said he's going after
He's going to
Euron.
find Yara.
Euron. So is he going to put a dent in that whole plan?
There you go. We knocked down that dynamic. I thought you said we weren't making predictions. this
She's gonna
episode.
her
No, there's
bank,
plenty of predictions to
that
make.
fucking stupid ass, boring bank is gonna be her storyline.
It's gotta go back and bleep out all those.
No, I'm not bleeping out anything anymore.
It's her bank. The bank. She's gonna use the bank to build an army, and then
Well,
hopefully
she already has the
sandwich-
Golden Company coming, which
Yeah,
she paid
yeah,
for.
yeah.
25,
right.
just
But that's-
mercenaries.
That's
What-
all she has in the North. In King's Landing, that's all she has. Is she has her ties to the bank. That's her new thing because she's on her father's trek, which is restoring the family's name. It's nothing but the family anymore. But
She
to-
ain't got a family anymore.
more to the point herself.
But the
than
thing is,
family.
you know what I'm thinking, actually? Just a little tiny prediction. I think they may actually go for like the whole pancake thing and maybe what is it, Gold's Army or whatever it's called?
The Golden
Golden Army.
Company.
The
Gold
Golden
Company.
Company. They may see the Whites, Night King, etc.
fight them.
Flip, and then Cersei may die within that time frame.
Something interesting is that Dario Naharis used to work for the Golden Company, and some people have been predicting that he'll come back in a way
Sure.
with the Golden Company, but I don't know.
I really liked that actor. I don't know his name, which
It's
shame
like
on me.
me.
I don't know. He's in a
something.
really good movie too that I watched last year that blindsided me on how good it is. It's called The Invitation. Check it out if you
Oh,
get a chance.
Blindsided with Sandra Bullock.
Yeah,
I think that's just
He played
Blindside.
Big Mike, I think.
All right.
no, but anyway, The Invitation, good movie on Netflix. But anyway, I really like his actor, so I hope he comes back. Just want to say that one of the best things in the show is when they recasted Dario Naharis.
The
because
first guy who played
the
him
first
was-
guy I hated.
He was in Deadpool.
He was terrible.
Yeah, he was, but he I didn't like him. And then
Yeah.
when the other one came, I liked him.
He looked too
Mercenary.
Barbie.
Yeah, he looked too like he was the.
He looked like
radio
Troy.
mercenary.
Troy in the myth,
Or what kind of story is that? I forget. With the Arnold
It's a myth,
Arnold
sure.
played him.
Legend.
Conan.
Conan. That's what he kind of looked like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
What did I say, Troy?
Okay. I mean, we just went on a tangent for about 20 minutes off of the whole Bran and Sam thing, but
Straight dope.
the most important thing
Straight up.
is that they reveal that Jon is in fact Aegon Targaryen.
We figured it out, yeah.
And the whole Rhaegar thing, like people are saying that he looks a lot like Viserys, which is 100% true, but Viserys wanted to copy everything Rhaegar. Like he wanted it so much to be his older brother that I feel like Viserys copied Rhaegar's look
Okay.
instead of like
100, yeah.
The other
And
way
people
around.
are, yeah. Did they
Go back
get
to
the
my
same
earlier
actor?
question. Did they use?
No.
they use
If
a new
you-
actor. The new actor in real life is like he looks like a very handsome man, like very kind of
Fits
perfect.
Rhaegar.
But they kind of the way they made him up in the show doesn't do justice to Rhaegar. I
He was
feel.
supposed, Rhaegar in the book description was supposed to have really long hair, right?
He was supposed to be unbelievable with how good looking he was. Like even Cersei throughout the entire books keeps saying like how he looked like a myth, like how good looking he was.
He looked
and-
like the first Dario Naharis. That's what he looked like.
Not with
That's
the-
what they should
Bring him
recast him.
There was this one guy that they, But the thing is that I feel like because there was plenty of people.
He was fine.
There was like the Icy Stars singer. I think people wanted him to be cast because that was rumors going around.
what's
Because
Icy Stars?
it's
I
a
don't know what the
band,
fuck he's talking
but
about.
like he was gonna be just because people thought it was gonna be a one-off scene. But if they're doing something with the prequel, they might have wanted to cast someone that can actually act.
Yeah,
so that
sure.
they
Let's
can do
get more.
stuff.
I don't know.
pop
I think
stars
it's
in
fine.
here.
We
That's
No,
what
but
Game of
that's why
Thrones is
they-
missing is
That's
pop
why
stars.
they cast a different person.
We saw the scene. It was like 5 seconds or like 30 seconds long. It's fine. The only thing I would have wished is we saw more of his face so people would know that it's not Viserys and he had longer hair because I was waiting for like this long, like
from-
Daenerys hair almost.
The picture that they used in like the books and in the Song of Ice and Fire book, it's kind of like he has like a long like ponytail thing, and it's kind of insane how close the illustration looks to Chris Hemsworth. So like that's how Rhaegar was supposed to look, is like Chris Hemsworth with like and
lighter hair. Yeah.
And like, dude, Rhaegar's armor and like the illustrations and stuff is
And
like the coolest
Cool.
thing
It's
I've
like
ever
some
seen.
RuneScape armor.
But I don't know.
Play RuneScape?
Rhaegar's a cool character. I mean,
You think we see more of him? You think we get a Robert's Rebellion, Rhaegar dying?
I don't think we need Rhaegar anymore.
I don't
either.
think so either, but I would love to. Like, I have a book, The World of Ice and Fire, that I got for Christmas 2 years ago, and
Great story, Nick.
thank you. I just had to give some context. But when you open up the book on that first cover, like there's an illustration of it, and it looks like one of the coolest things I've ever seen. So I hope maybe we get something like that, or maybe in one of the shows that they're planning. I know not Robert's Rebellion, but maybe like a flashback within that.
Yeah, I don't know. It's super interesting, all the stuff that happened before the show with Rhaegar and everything, and it's kind of crazy how one of the most important characters in all of Game of Thrones is dead before the show even starts.
Yeah, well, George R.R. said he likes those kind of stories, right?
Yeah, but like Rhaegar gets his like chest caved in by Robert's hammer, and then the rubies go into the river and all that stuff. But
I don't like Robert.
you don't.
No, I don't. I honestly loved him at the beginning of the show. I was like, this guy's cool. This guy's
But
cool
like
as
he
hell.
didn't know. He didn't know what was happening. And like
Well, do
Bran
some
says,
digging, man.
Bran says that Robert's rebellion was built on a lie, and it kind of is. But at the same time, the Mad King was still the Mad King.
Yeah.
So they were bound to rebel.
Still just
anyways.
burning random people.
I don't know. It's super weird. But also another thing is that lots of people are upset about Jon being Aegon Targaryen.
He's not going to go by it.
Also, people are saying like,
People are
well,
always
because
changing.
Rhaegar already had another son named Rhaegar with Elia Martell, and in the books, that Rhaegar is still alive, but it's actually a fake Aegon. It's super confusing, but there's like a fake Aegon Targaryen coming in, and then there's Jon now who's Aegon Targaryen. So it's like, why is there two people called Aegon Targaryen?
Wait, so there's another one alive?
But it's not a real Targaryen. He's fake.
But these are the
He
books.
believes he is, yeah. But
So
so
it
it doesn't
doesn't
matter.
matter
It doesn't matter.
whatsoever.
But at the same time, people are still saying like, why would Rhaegar name two of his sons Aegon?
Prophecy.
Because in the show, he still named his other son Aegon, but he's dead. But at the same time, Rhaegar was so obsessed with like the prophecy of the prince that was promised, and he was told that the prince who was promised name would be Aegon Targaryen. And
So he's just gonna name all of his sons Aegon.
He did.
because the thing is that he was obsessed with the prophecy that the dragons must have 3 heads. So he had 2 kids with Elia Martell, but then she fell ill and couldn't have any kids anymore. So
he
he
had
ran
to
off
have a
with
third.
Lyanna, so he could
And
have a
he
third
actually
one.
genuinely loved her too.
Yeah, and then once you annul a marriage to, so he annulled Elia Martell's marriage to Rhaegar, so that means that all his kids that he had with Elia Martell become bastards since they're not technically married anymore. So he needed to name Jon Aegon, because otherwise his son wouldn't be Aegon Targaryen anymore. So he needed an Aegon Targaryen still alive, and that's Jon, and that's why it makes sense why his name is Aegon.
I think everyone's mad because his name's Aegon Targaryen. They're like, I don't want to call him that.
He's
If
not
you
gonna
think-
go by
If
it.
you think John's going to go by that after being brought up by Ned, then no. But
Yeah. Ned's still his dad. Like, Rhaegar doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. The only thing is that he's the heir to
he's
the
a
Iron
real-
Throne.
He's his real dad.
And my prediction is that the way Ned lied about Jon being the descendant of Rhaegar, he's going to lie about his heritage. So he's going to still stay Jon Snow.
Almost
And-
like how Ned did. Almost like how Ned
Because
lied about
he's
having
being
a
compared to
bastard.
Ned a lot, and he even in this episode he talks about how like he doesn't like lying, and he likes because once you lie and all that stuff, but sometimes you need to lie to protect people, and he'd need to protect that because then another war would break out. Some people backing him, some people backing Dany. It'd just be a complete disaster.
I think you're right on that.
I think he might even just, if he survives, which I don't think he will, I think he might start like the Snow household. because there was a time where
Really?
Targaryen bastards, it was like Blackfire, and then one of the bastards got enough people rallying behind him that he split off and started the Blackfire House. So then they named
Is
him.
that still a thing in the show?
They're dead. All of them are dead.
They're all dead.
Well, one of them went and founded the Golden Company, but
No,
Dario
he's
Nahara, so we got even
for
more
sure.
incest.
He's not allowed to live. His hero's journey is not allowed to come to that kind of ending where he gets the happy ending and he goes off. And
he won't
You
be a
don't know
happy
that,
ending.
though. You don't know that though.
There's two ways the show ends. John dies, sacrifices himself to save everything, or John wins and has to be the king even though he doesn't want to.
3 of the Starks are going to sacrifice themselves.
Arya's dead.
Arya's
dies.
going to sacrifice herself. Bran's going to sacrifice himself, and Jon's going to sacrifice himself. Sansa's going to be the only one left.
People are gonna be pissed about that one.
I don't know. I can see John living.
Her and Ghost are
I
going to
don't
get
think-
married.
I don't think
They're
Jon
going to
lives.
start the new house, Ghost people.
Ghost people.
I do like that house name.
Then they will have many children, 3 of them to be exact.
Mm-hmm.
There will be a new prophecy where a flying dog comes, like Never-Ending Story,
Yeah.
like a flying ghost, and then that's the start of the episodes 7, 8, 9.
Now is that straight up?
It's straight dope.
But okay. So I think John either dies or Dany dies. Those are the 2 endings. I don't think both of them survive at all. There's no way. Because people are already weirded out about the aunt-nephew thing. They have to get married because John got her pregnant. So one of them's going to die.
I think that's true. I think the Night King has a connection to the Lord of Light or magic in general, so that when the Night King dies, anyone who has been brought back by the Light King dies with it.
By the Light King.
So really they
the
only have
Night
one
King and the
target.
Light King.
No,
The Light
Lord
King.
of Light.
The Ice King.
I don't know. That we need to find out more about this. Because
Yeah, they're running out of time too.
Let's go on the internet and see what fun and interesting
Bran's the
theories
Night
people
King.
have.
Bran's the Night King.
That was sarcastic.
Stay away from it.
Don't watch our podcast.
Okay, so yeah, John's Aegon. Some interesting parallels that I've been seeing is that the main Aegon that's like super famous is Aegon the Conqueror. Now you have John who's defending Westeros, so he's Aegon the Defender. Instead of conquering, he's defending. Some little interesting parallel there. John's dead at the end of season 8.
Beginning
After
of season 8, episode 1.
episode 1, John
I'd
dies.
be so mad. Okay.
First scene is just Tyrion getting a pickaxe to the forehead.
Okay.
John's holding it. I don't want to go down this road.
Okay,
what's
I like the
next?
predictions. I mean, the next thing is the final scene at the wall where.
You missed the Arya and Sansa scene.
So the next thing is the wall when.
We covered that. The Baelish death scene?
No, he's talking about
No,
when
when
they're
they're
on the edge
talking.
and they just talk about Ned for the 80th.
Oh,
we
whatever.
talked in previous episodes though how there was something that made Sophie Turner cry. That must have been it, since she's really in real life best friends with Macy Williams. So I just want to throw that in there since I'm so knowledgeable.
Straight dope.
Okay. So then the wall comes down. I guess Tormund and Beric live somehow. They go to the other
Yeah.
side of the wall where
That's
Dennis
Yeah, they're
lives.
fine.
That's
They got
stupid.
away.
They should be dead. Anyway, best shot of that scene was right when the dragon comes in.
That
And you don't
was
get a good,
shit,
you don't get
yeah.
a good look at it. But then when they had the shots of the Night King on the dragon, that was lame to me. It was
Why?
Stupid. Like when no one is just sitting there and he's like. that
Well,
was stupid.
you need to.
I don't want to see him on there. I want to see it just fly. I want to see it just going fast, like the first shot only. You don't get a good look at it.
Like it's just like
It's
scary.
like, well, no, from like.
you're
Tormund's
seeing
view.
it from there. But
Yeah,
he
like
was
I want
just
like
sit-
the wide shots of the wall going down and all that. But like I don't want just a stagnant shot.
Well, he needed to if he wanted to collapse the wall, because if he just keeps going like this and making strafe runs, then it's going to take him the whole night. I mean, he doesn't really care because it took him forever to walk down anyways to the wall.
Yeah, whatever.
But that brings up another point that maybe he made that whole trap for
Daniel.
John to get the dragon so that he could get through the wall.
It seems to make sense because it
does.
very much seems like if
And
he
they-
wanted them dead earlier, they would have been dead earlier in that scene.
And he had the weapons ready to kill the dragon. Like literally, some guy was like, "Okay, it's time. Here's the." Okay, but
I don't know. What do we think the dragon's breathing? Because if it's fire, it
it's
really
gotta
doesn't.
be like a pure energy type thing.
Fusion.
But how? Somebody said, okay, so I saw someone trying to bring
well, I don't know.
science.
It's cold fire.
Some-
That's what it is. You don't have, there's no science attached to it. It's just cold fire.
But the thing
That
is
what
if it's
straight-
fire, it
straight
should
up,
kill the dragon.
I think you're overthinking it. We'll find out more. You okay?
I'm dying.
Joffrey death.
It's blue fire. You can't put anything more attached to it. It's science
It'd
is
blow
not going to
out
solve
the
this.
dragon
It's
from the
fine.
Science
outside.
isn't going to
It's
solve
fine.
this.
You're overthinking it. The dragon also had holes in its wings. Okay.
Yeah, like how would it fly still?
It's fine. Just leave it alone.
How did how did he
overthink
get
it.
holes in its wings already?
Don't plan too much. It may not come out right.
Okay, so I saw someone say that since he got like a hole in his neck and it blew out, that it's letting in more oxygen, so it lets the fire be hotter.
People are going
That is
way too-
rationalizing
Like,
bullshit.
Honestly, if you went this far in depth with the whole show, people wouldn't like the show. Like they're just like they're getting too critical over there.
Also, someone said that from an aerial shot, it looks like the White Army makes like the Stark symbol of the direwolf. Thoughts?
Coincidence?
Yeah, 100%. People look into this stuff way too much.
Yeah, as you're doing it.
Coincidence.
No,
Anyway.
I'm just trying to.
Thank you
I'm just
for-
trying to spark conversation
No,
with like
yeah,
this
I
whole
get
thing.
it. I get what you're saying, but I just don't think it's anything to bat an eye at.
People are looking at trees and not seeing the forest. Am I right? Straight up.
I think I straight up.
Okay.
I think
So,
people are seeing a campfire.
something.
Instead of seeing a forest fire.
So
People are just cutting the grass, but they're not picking up the clippings. You know what I'm saying?
So the dragon is fast somehow. It's faster than a normal dragon.
No, it's not.
So how?
No, it's not.
We never saw a dragon go as fast as it did with.
We've never seen a dragon have to move that fast.
Yeah, we have.
On liftoff, everything that flies gets slow on liftoff.
We've seen Danny
does look
flying in the-
faster.
it does look faster,
It does
right?
look
Because we're
faster.
seeing it from someone's view with a dragon swooping by.
All I'm saying, I don't know why you're getting so mad, because all I'm saying is that the dragon has to be getting to Winterfell soon.
Yes.
Like the Army of the Dead is like.
Well, if Danny can get from frickin' Dragonstone to beyond the wall in like less than a day, then this dragon is just as fast.
So do we think episode 1 of season 8 is them at Winterfell?
The Night King can't leave his whole white army and just
Yeah.
go there by himself.
Yeah, he's not. Well, he could,
Danny
but he's
was
not
li-
going to.
Danny was coming by herself with 3 other dragons. That can
Why
go
are you
just
so
as
mad
fast.
right now?
Because like, this,
I'm
no,
just
this,
trying to figure
this
out what.
scene-
That does throw a monkey in the wrench, though. The fact that he has this ability now to go to any place on the map in less than a day, but he's not going to. He's not.
Because
It
he has
does
to
throw a
wait for his
monkey in the
army. That's,
wrench.
okay.
It does.
It may okay.
So what I think is going to happen is he's going to go to like the major castles that are north of Winterfell and kill them and bring back that dead, and then push forward. So he's just going to still do what he was doing north of the wall, where he's amassing this giant army, and then he's going to push onto Winterfell and kill.
And then we get into season.
What if they just tie
Season
like a
8.
chain to his tail, and there's just like a million walkers holding onto the chain as it's
like
flapping?
a
Yeah, why don't they do that? They have those chains still.
Yeah,
Like
get some more
water
use out of
skiing.
them.
Like water skiing?
Yeah, like air skiing.
But that might throw a monkey
Know
in the
what I'm
wrench
saying?
of the whole situation.
It's gonna monkey that fucking wrench.
All right, we'll get into predictions some other episode.
Yeah, we'll come at you with some.
Oh yeah,
season eight
oh yeah.
stuff.
This episode completely devoid of predictions.
Well,
Good call, guys.
This one went off the rails quick, but thank you guys so much for watching another episode of the We Know Nothing podcast. I mean, I guess we'll be back sometime to talk about season
Sure.
We have a while.
What are you guys doing Saturday?
No, nope.
8. Not doing this. So until next time, adios.
Bye.
Goodbye.